1-1.
1-1. Okay, lead off homer by
Don't listen to your station, it gets the wrong score.
Down here waiting for you.
The station has the Clipper game.
Yeah, come on.
Doc, how can you keep this latest bit of controversy surrounding Blake from becoming a big distraction to the club?
It shouldn't be, you know. Obviously, I don't know enough about it. It's an ongoing investigation, so I don't have a lot to say about it. I trust Blake 100%. He's a great kid, and we'll figure it out and get through it.
One thing I'm
Yeah.
Chris tonight?
Yes.
Are they like 50 years old? Is that why they were investing?
I guess. Yeah, it's the new generation, you know. Guys like to sit. You know, it's. I had planned on that with the back-to-back, and I needed DJ to play last night. I told him I would not play him tonight. And the only other guy tonight, maybe not Jamal, because he is not young. We know that. So back-to-backs, you know, it's funny. I was trying to watch his minutes last night, so maybe I could play him tonight. I think he didn't play more than 18 or 20, so maybe he'll play tonight. But right now, I know I'm not playing DJ. I told him that 5 days ago.
I thought sorry the scrimmage was just been your first exhibition game. Quite happy with, I guess, the approach and attitude.
Yeah.
You guys are now one game since.
Yeah, we haven't played well.
Is there a reason behind that?
No, if I knew it, I'd try to fix it quicker. We just haven't played well. We haven't performed well. I don't think we've sustained any good play. You know, when you watch film, there's been some pretty good stretches, but we haven't sustained a game. You know I've subbed crazy, you know, a little bit, and that affects you more than you think, you know. But we have to clearly play better.
Is this a sign of a team that's a veteran team that's expected to do well, and then all of a sudden they think they can just turn it on?
I'll let you know.
Doc,
Because I don't know. I mean, you just never know.
Doc, you mentioned that you said you trust Blake. What has Blake told you about the incident?
Basically, you know, I can't say much, but I feel very confident that things will work out. I'll put it that way.
When something like this comes up, are you in contact with the league? Do you work with them, or is it not to that point yet?
It's not to that point yet, but everybody's in contact with everybody in this day and time. You know, security, police, everything. Everybody's always in contact. Of course they are.
Doc, back to the preseason. How do you put together any kind of run the way you want to see them when there's not a continuity thing going on? You're mixing and matching all over the place.
We have continuity in practice, and we practice far more than we play games in preseason. You know, and that's the difference between preseason and the season. It's the exact opposite once the season starts. You actually play more games. You don't, in the practices you do have, just being very frank with you, are not very good during the regular season, even though they're hour or plus. But we have competitive long practices right now, and so you do keep pretty good continuity then. And so you see what you see. And I think Blake mentioned it the other day, man, we look great in practice. You know, maybe it's because it's against each other. We're not playing well. You just never know. Or it could be the other way. And again, you just don't know. I feel confident. I think we're in a good place. I don't like the way we've played in real games. And then one thing I will say is what I don't like is we don't sustain good play. And to me, that is a concern. Whether, you know, and a lot of it usually is through substitutions. I will say that. You know, we'll have a good last night. You know, we played great, and all of a sudden we start subbing guys, and they went on a 12-2 run, you know, and, you know, that bothers you. And I don't care who you're subbing in. Like, it shouldn't be because you're subbing in one extra different guy, and that is a concern for me. But I don't know if that carries to the regular season or not. I just don't know the answer.
How short is that? How short is that?
I think he's a lot better. Yeah, I think there, you know, was only 2 games left. So he's not playing tonight. So I think they're hoping, they meaning JP, Friday, but I don't actually know that.
Could his injury, I mean, if you guys want to carry 15 in, you've got 2 guys to keep that spot, one of them can handle the ball. Could that be a factor?
It sure could be a factor, yeah, definitely. And it's not this injury, no, because this injury is not bad. But when you're evaluating your team, you do have to look at all these things, like Is the backup guy a guy that typically doesn't get hurt or does get hurt at each position, not just at the 3 or the point, and so when you're factoring in that 15th guy, well, who would be the guy that if a guy got injured could step in? And so you have to evaluate a lot of stuff. It was funny, the 15th guy is the 15th guy. Let's just be honest. You hope you don't have to play the 15th guy. But if he does play, you hope he can help you. And so you have to make the right decision.
Did Jared show you that he could play a little point guard last night, or did you feel
No, I felt that way anyway. The problem was we had a new point guard in Jordan, and we were trying to get him into our system. So Jared played a ton. He plays all point guard for the most part in practice. But in the games, you had to use those minutes for Jordan because he's your backup, and you need him to be ready, and then he gets injured.
Doc, the GM poll came out today, and DJ wasn't selected as one of the league's top defenders. Do you think that's yet another slight?
I do. What do you do? What do you think? You watch them too. Absolutely it is. But this is my belief with DJ. You got to do it more than 1 year. I think players that make the All-Star team, they usually make it the year before, and then they make it the next year. I think in our league, it's not one of those they don't trust the one-hit wonders. The Milli Vanillis. That's the best example I can give. But they had 2 songs, if I remember right. So bad example.
Because of what's happened with the potential few injuries leading into the opening of the season, are you guys looking realistically at maybe making a deal or adding somebody from the outside?
No, it's a tough time to make a deal anyway, just to be honest. Most teams are pretty in love with their teams.
Or signing somebody who, will be released in the next few days, that kind of thing.
We're always looking, but no. But that's our job. We have to look and we have to try to improve our team. But I tend to be more on the stubborn side as this is who we are, then let's be something and find something else.
Doc, my usual question, who's starting a small forward?
Ralph, first of all, I really thank you for asking a question. That's very nice of you. Matt, we'll start.
Have you zeroed in on him as the opening night starter yet?
Yeah.
He's going to start opening.
Yeah. I just said that just so you won't ask anymore.
Nothing to ask Friday.
I think Spencer's been good in a lot of areas. There's some areas he has to improve on. Defensively, he still needs to take a step our way, and he's trying. Offensively, I think at times he tries to do too much with the ball. And I think sometimes he feels with the second unit he has to. And, his best game to me is when we went with a short rotation of him, DJ, and Blake only. And that way he was always on the floor in one of those 2 games. I don't think that was a coincidence that he had a great game in that game. And that's where we will go when the regular season starts. It'll be that 3 big rotation unless foul trouble comes into play.
Doc, was there an update on Glenn?
No, not that I know of.
I mean, he's just still day to day.
Yeah, he's day to day. I don't personally think. I think it'll be hard for him to be ready for opening night. Would be my guess. But I shouldn't even say that because I haven't checked with JP. I just think that that makes sense when he hasn't done anything and still can and is not expected to for another 3 or 4 days at the earliest. I can't expect him to be ready for opening night, but you never know.
With that small forward position, was it a matter of just no one else being able to take it?
No, what I was trying to tell you guys is that I thought that all along. I kept saying Matt's going to be the guy to play the minutes, but I needed to look at the other guys, so it was, and I was trying to tell you, it wasn't the starting thing that I was looking at. But the starters don't play with the starters as much minutes as you think. They actually, when you look at per minute basis, the starters play with each other probably about 15 to 20 minutes a night. It's mingled, and so my thought going in was, let's see how these other guys look with different units. So.
How much concern do you have over the fact that, I know it's exhibition season, but he's 3 of 31?
Oh, that's a concern, yeah. Probably more for Matt than me. I just need Matt to be a great defender, run the floor, be a great slasher. But I don't care who you are. When you're 3 for, what is it?
31.
And you're going to keep telling them that, I'm sure, and everyone else is, you're human. That has to affect you. There's no doubt. It'd be nice to see the ball going.
Doc, what do you want to see with these last 2 games?
Well, more sustained minutes. You know, that doesn't mean wins and losses, but just sustained good play.
Is there anything anybody could do to change their stock at this point regarding roster spots? Anything else?
It's hard, you know, it's just tough. Yeah, I guess there could be, but, you know, we'll see.
Do you know when you'll make that move?
Yeah, I don't know, probably Friday.
The owner is here, Doc. You're gonna show off and like win tonight?
I don't want to spoil him too early, Ralph. You know, that'd be way too early for him. You know, we're going to watch him tonight and see how he reacts to everything, I think. No, he's good. I'm glad he's in town. I think this is his first home game. So he has to get in shape too and, you know, figure out what he's going to be doing during the season. So watch him all game, please. Thank you. And report back afterwards.
The Bears to go to the Super Bowl.
What's going on, man? How are you?
They still could, though. They're gonna win.